All right. Nervous and doing it. 2023. Hi. So, I'm a Virgo, and no, not a Virgo. I'm a Venus. My Venus. Astrology is an amazing thing. And it's, we have had, I've had my chart done, I think, almost every year for many years, skipping a few years here and there, but never fully understood it. And it was always a lot of symbols and stuff. But this past year, after my solo return in March, I started listening to all these podcasts and YouTube videos and learning, and went down the rabbit hole and have listened to so many different people at this point and really liked some of them. Thought I liked some of them until were proven otherwise. Yes, because even light workers can be assholes. Yay! But that's not what I want to talk about. I wrote notes. Back in the beginning of December, Molly McCord, thank you, Molly, you're amazing, is one of the ones I regularly listen to. And I often write notes when I am listening to different blogs. So sometimes I can go as far as like take a full notebook, like here. These are Ralph Smart's chosen ones. There are 10 of them. I could go over that with you another day. But this day, Molly was asking us to think about, what am I ready to release? What am I ready to release? And oh my God, you may learn a thing or two about my life, but I've released a shit ton. And really could, what else was I going to release? And there's a lot to unpack in that sentence. And then, as the universe is apt to do, my good friend and ex-husband and father of my children wound up in the ICU on a ventilator. He's okay now, thank God. We were 12 hours away from making a tracheotomy decision, so that was not fun. And one of my closest and dearest and most beautiful friends, most beautiful souls, and tortured. Michelle Gardner, Dr. Michelle Gardner. She's a chiropractor. Died by suicide. Christmas Day. And there's so much I want to say about that. And so much I need to say about her. But I've notes. She'd be really proud of me. The last time I tried to record something, I did it with her. So she's in the background making all these heaving sounds. And then New Year's Eve, I actually even wound up in the emergency room. So what was I ready to release? I felt like anything. My child doesn't speak to me. I mean, what else can we release? And then, as life happens, I, thank God, was released from the hospital New Year's Eve at 10:30, flu and bronchitis. I think it was the universe's way of saying, you don't have to do this anymore. the same way we keep doing it, because how many times have I had to sit in a emergency room by myself? Not fun. Not fun at all. And the next morning, we woke up and felt better, almost 100%. Today, it's kicking my ass a little bit. It's the 4th, because I didn't take it as easy as I probably should have, considering I did have the flu and bronchitis, but considering I was feeling better, yada yada. So I was talking about astrology. And Molly's question of, what am I ready to release? And just now, I went back to that, because her other questions that I have later on, it must have been a different one of hers. It's definitely one of hers. Hold on. It's, what am I committed? What are you committed to? What are your commitments to yourself? What are you committed to on a deep soul level? And the reality is, I've been wanting to do this podcast, and I've been trying to figure out a way to get my story and my thoughts out somehow since the earthquake and the bomb of 2019, which, thank you, Molly, for saying that the energy was the same, because Mercury retrograde, but it was an ending. Thank you, God. So I was always the kid at Hanukkah, Jewish girl here, that wanted to give my presents out first. And I was told that was selfish. And stop being selfish. And why you always want everything to be about you. Okay, yeah, I wanted the joy of giving out my presents and I'm telling you this because I've spent the past 3 years de-gaslighting my brain and realizing that a lot of the things that I was brought up with didn't make any sense whatsoever. And that we are pretty fucking damn amazing. We must say so ourselves. And the reason I keep saying ours, because we live as a plural, a DID system, which I'm sure I'll be talking about, but that is not the foundation. Well, I guess it is oh no, it's not what I'm talking, it's not what this is about. That is how I go through it. Mercury in Pisces, very conjunct in the 5th house. Thank you. That was one of the things that helped me when I started learning about me and learning about astrology and realizing how validating, how absolutely validating everything was. Because no wonder why. I'm just out there trying to get what I'm trying to say. I'll do art, I'll do writing, I'll do singing, I'll do dancing. I don't know, however, someone. And so we just created more and more of me's. So what am I committed to? I really am. I am committed to humanity. And there's that part of us, that Black Lilith in the 11th house in our Scorpio rising, that's kind of like, that sounds so, yeah. But being a Scorpio rising, you also get it. And I had an amazing reading with Susie yesterday. Susie! And, you know, I think with every reading you get like a few bits of gold. And of all the different placements I had paid attention to, such as Pisces, Mercury in Pisces, or Mars in Capricorn, or anyway, I hadn't really paid much attention to my Venus in Aquarius. I think she said like 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 times. I really want to encourage you to like really research your Venus in Aquarius. Like really look into that and see what that is. So that's what I've been doing past day, 24 hours or so. And Venus in Aquarius is 110,000% me. Like, it's the outcast. It's the one that's going to do it differently. It's the one that will love you forever. But if you try and pin me down, I swear to God, I will bolt the fuck out. It's the underdog, wanna help humanity. Because humanity's in really deep shit. And so I was trying to do all these things, you know, the rogue tribe and rogue lands and, you know, find my tribe and blah, blah, blah. People, someone come and see me and notice me, notice that we've been like in hell and that we could use some help and notice all of our amazing thoughts and theories and things. And yes, please, please, please notice me. But nobody noticed me. Probably because I didn't go out that much, but that's another story. But through, actually, I mean, Susie, thank you. Through yesterday and my journaling, I went back to, my therapist said, spoiler alert, you are deserving of everything. You are too. If you're listening to this, you're probably really amazing because you were somehow attracted to my energy. And then I wrote it over again. I did, this time, I am deserving of all. And you know what? Because we really had to think about that. Because we can be deserving of bad too, because bad happens. And if I'm saying I'm deserving of all, that could mean I'm deserving of bad. And if I am deserving of bad, then I will get bad, but I no longer believe I'm deserving of bad. So I'm deserving of all because that encompasses a bunch of the stuff I can't think of. Okay. The next thing, we're back. All right. So back to that question of what am I ready to release? And today, as I was writing, which is why I'm finally doing this video, because I'm releasing expectations. I don't give a shit. I mean, I obviously do care about, but I'm not, after everything in my world that's been thrown at me, those that are meant to find the rogue tribe, me, us, will find us. And I know I'm pretty damn fucking magical. And that my brain has done some pretty fucking magical things. And we have a lot to talk about. And I'm releasing expectations. Of course, then somebody inside asked, and I don't know, and I'd like this to be interactive. So if someone knows the answer, does expectation equal hope? Is hope, H-O-P-E, hope, is hope a type of expectation? It's hard. That's the question. Drat asked. So but because we have a whole thing about releasing hope, but it turns out you can releasing hope doesn't mean that you're not um, still think you're deserving of all. I guess that's it, because I was told I wasn't, and I was, and oh, and I was also told that that people would think I was crazy if I ever said certain things, or if I did certain things, or whatever. That like that was like the worst thing in the world. Like, oh my God, people are gonna think you're crazy. People are gonna think you're crazy. God forbid. Well, you know what? We be some crazy. And so if you like crazy, if you vibe with crazy, great, crazy, magnificent, brilliant, magical, then awesome. And if crazy scares you, bye-bye. Shut the door. Out you go. Beep. And so this brings us back to my Venus in Aquarius. I'm just ready to be crazy and ready to say it and ready to do it and put myself out there, which is kind of exciting. Off topic, because what we were releasing expectations. So I'm releasing what we look like, the fact that we're not wearing a bra, the fact that we have no makeup on, yada yada. I'm committed to showing up 100% authentic and real. That's what a very beautiful educational consultant gifted me with. Brandy, my magic, my gift, my magic, my superpower is our authenticity. So I'm committed, even when I look like a big goof, because I often do. And then we try and look all cool and everything. That's another part that's the fronters. Like Venus in Aquarius is rogue. I mean, that just realized that really does make sense. And so that's what my brand is. We are rogue.com. W-E, letter R, rogue. R-O-G-U-E. We are rogue. We have so many notebooks like this over the past 3 years, and we have so much artwork, and we've many videos that we've yet to release, so I'm really hoping this is the one that gets out there. I am not going to say anything mean about me. I just look very different than the first time I really started. And we're not saying anything mean. Anyway, the best way that I could try and figure out how to manage my system, my brain, my head, my thoughts, it's like being a corporation that has, all of the other mini corporations underneath, around them in a circle. And that's kind of, oh my God. And that's exactly how when Audrey, my friend Audrey, I love her, and I did a reading, the world was my center. And the whole world, that's kind of like how I want to set up. So when, people I can find, and then all the different, yep. So I'm committed to humanity. I'm committed to getting us through this time. I am starting, okay. Some of us inside have always known, since we've known anything, that we were special and meant and here for something. And then you have life and all that. And then life hits you hard. I have an intense story, and I'm finally starting to accept that, acknowledge that. Not, I'm not afraid. Oh, will I hurt your feelings if I tell you that I have had a hard life? I'm so sorry that hurts your feelings. Please, no, I'm sorry. I'm still in my pajamas. I, no, I'm just saying it as I see it. And I speak from light and love. And if for some reason something mean comes out of my mouth, it's because someone did something mean. Finishing up my Chiron return, thank God, which I think I could say basically officially started 3 weeks before the exact Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Yeah, that's what first got me down the rabbit hole of astrology. Was I was determined. I knew that day meant, I knew something. I knew. And then there's so many times where I've written down dates, and then I went back and I looked, and I was like, there you go. There you go. I would say to my therapist, too, at that point. I was like, I'm telling you, I don't know astrology, but I know this day there's something happening. This has been exciting. I hope it becomes something.